Hi, this is Kaushik Lakshman,
I'm Jalal Uddin, this time from USA.
and welcome to Off the Crease with Jalal Uddin, the show where we talk about all things technical to the game of cricket. When I think of Bangladesh cricket, three names spring to my mind: Shakib Al Hasan, Tamim Iqbal, and Mushfiqur Rahim.
Yes, they are the legend of the Bangladesh cricket and world celebrate them.
Absolutely. But how did Bangladesh produce such cricketing legends? How did a team, which even a few years ago was not considered a serious contender in world cricket, manage to reach the level that it has today? What I'm really asking is, what has been the story behind the rise of Bangladesh cricket and the factors that have contributed to its development? In today's episode, we are going to discuss all this and a lot more with a very special guest all the way from the UK.
हैट्रिक पाकिस्तानના બોલર જલાલુદ્દીન
Joining us all the way from London is Shahidul Alam Ratan, former national coach of the Bangladesh Cricket Board. He's currently the CEO and the head of development at Captial Kids Cricket in London, a non-profit organization which focuses on giving people from disadvantaged backgrounds an opportunity to participate in healthy physical activity. Welcome to the show, Ratan.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Assalamu alaikum, Jalal bhai. Thanks for having me.
Walaikum assalam, Ratan. Thank you very much for my show. You coming on my show, and I hope we will discuss few things.
Oh, it was a pleasure. A lot to learn from you, and ask what you asking me, I'll be asking you.
That's right. That's right.
But before that, Ratan, I want to ask you something. কেমন আছেন আপনি?
আমি খুব ভালো আছি।
That's
খুব গরম লন্ডনে। It is very hot today, London. Yeah.
I can imagine. so let us jump right in. So Ratan, you and Jalal sir go back a very long time, don't you? So the first question that comes to mind is, how did a Pakistani cricket coach and a Bangladeshi cricket coach end up meeting each other and sustain such a long friendship?
For even that, we need to thank our former colonizer England, and rest of the story will tell Ratan will tell you.
Yes. Let me tell you, that of course, I did my coaching award course and senior award course in England, and then I was looking to attend level 3. And then when I was invited to join level 3 back in 2001, that time in Asia there was no level 3 coaches. So
Okay.
we were lucky enough to get selected. So I was one of the lucky enough. Of course, Jalal bhai was deserved to be on that, because he started his coaching career much earlier, and he deserved to be there. And we had some other colleague like Iqbal was there with us, and Shahidul Alam who was working still with the PCB, I think. So I think during that course we met, and not only we met, you see, it was so interesting course, and it was a really hard course, and we have to work together very closely to make sure that we learn from each other, we support each other, and we really supported each other. And that bonding, since then, I think it was with us. And still I can remember, Jalal bhai, can you remember that until 2 o'clock in the morning we were doing the homework?
Yeah. That was long 8 days. We will start from the early in the morning and
Early in the morning.
finish up. Even after the dinner, we will sit together and discuss the things what we have done in the day. So it was really tough and very interesting. And I tell you that was the first international level 3 coach organized by the English Cricket Board in Lily Shaw Training Center. That was the first international. The coaches from Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, England, South Africa, Australia, they all were there. So it was totally a different environment, and we learned from there, and we are very much know each other, and that was really a tough course. I would say that it was a tough course.
And a number of them, I think all of them are doing such a wonderful job from our courses. You can see the the Gibson, the West Indian coach.
Yeah.
So he was there with us.
Yeah.
I think there is another West Indian captain. He joined on the last day. I cannot remember. I think he was finishing his one of the module. Yes, it was really hard, and and we are only, I think, 3 or 4 of them from Asia that was in the course, and we all successfully passed.
Yeah, I remember
So
you told about the Gibson, and when he was teaching us as a project how to bowl in swing, and normally I do the outswing ball, and I can't bring in the new ball. So I give him a task to teach me how I bring the ball in. So he was fail on that time, and he was surprised why you are giving me this task. So it was really fun for him, and it was a good teaching learning environment.
wow.
Yeah.
So both of you are essentially the first ever ECB level three coaches in Asia.
Yeah,
Amazing stuff.
international. That was international. That was international.
Absolutely. So just moving on now. So Bangladesh cricket has been a mystery for the cricketing world. Why do I say that? Because Bangladesh are the current under 19 world champions. Their national side are a heavyweight in the limited overs games, be it T20 or ODI, and they're excellent at home in Test cricket. They even have legends in the making, as already mentioned, such as Tamim Iqbal, Mushfiqur, Rahim, Shakib Al Hasan, of course. But it's very easy to forget that just 20 years back, this was not the case. Bangladesh had just achieved Test status. The losses were piling up one after another, and so was the criticism against the team from the world's cricket media. So much so that there were demands that the IC should strip Bangladesh of its Test status. This was, of course, in the early 2000s.
Yeah, uh, really. I just asked Ratan to explain all these things because he was a Bangladesh cricket board national coach, and he must have a tough time at that time, and how he managed all these things, he will tell.
So,
Yeah.
Ratan, we would love it if you just talk a little bit about those days
Yeah,
and
Zito, you
how
see
tough
that
it was. Yeah.
one of the things that you started with the three players, the
Yeah.
name of the three players, all those three players are, you say that they're the, of course, they're the legend of Bangladesh cricket, and not only Bangladesh cricket, they have got a lot of followers across the world,
Yeah, yeah.
with because of their talent, their charisma, and their performance, and all sort of things. And when you are naming those, you know that I'm so proud and so happy that you named those, because all three of them I coached.
Oh, that's
Wow.
great. That's
All
Whoa.
great.
right.
That's great.
Uh, and if you can start with Mushfiqur, because I was a specialized wicket-keeping coach in high
Okay.
performance, all right? And before Mushfiq get into the national team, he was in the high performance squad. So I coached him 6 months before he get into the national team, all right? So
Oh,
that was, he was maybe 17 or 18 years at the time, all right? Uh, Tamim Iqbal, of course, I coached him from maybe 14 years old, and he was with various development squad since then. Then he was with my under 17. I was a national coach for under 17 at one time, and of course I was managing high performance, and I was part of the high performance squad, and Tamim was part of it. Shakib was part of it. uh, Shakib, Tamim, before they get into the national team, they are highly talented. You know that it's not that there are a lot of coaches help them. All right, and I played very little part of their journey. So just to, yeah, so I'm very always feel very proud that I was part of their journey. Anyway, as you said that it was really tough when Bangladesh was losing game after game. Maybe odd games we won against very weaker teams, and sometimes that we were doing really well in the home series, like everybody does. See, when uh, some of the new players like Sakib Al Hasan, Mushfiqur, and Tamim as well, and we had a very good captain. Don't forget about Mashraf bin Mutroza. He led it from the front, and that he was really a fighter, and he led the team very well. Also, we had a talented player like Mohammad Ashraf, who played brilliant cricket, and that I was part of that. Um, it was tough because the domestic cricket is so important. Jalal Bhai, you would understand how important the domestic cricket is to get the
yeah.
players groom up to play proper competitive cricket than international. So from the domestic cricket and international cricket, there is a far difference. There are too much of gap between the standards, and our domestic cricket was not that strong enough and not competitive enough so that players can play cope up with the international level. So the current players, as you can see, that yes, domestic cricket is improved much, but the current group of players, by playing international cricket and different franchise cricket, and of course, I should say that franchise cricket in BPL, IPL, CPL, PCL, all those really helped players to learn from each other, learn from other international cricketers, their experience. They shared the dressing room and etc. So these are the things really had some factors. And when Shakib, Mushfiq, Tamim, they played their first World Cup in 2007 in West Indies. I can remember I was the national coach of Malaysia then. I was watching at the night. My manager, Iqbal Ali, he was the Malaysian under-19 manager. Now he's the secretary of Malaysian Cricket Board. You are selling Ratan. What do you think? There are a couple of new boys in the team. I said, watch that three boys, what they do. And all three of them contributed, and they beat India on
Right.
that game. So it all very moving personally for me, and not only for me, for Bangladesh and that is the start when person like Mushfiq, Tamim, Saqib, Mahmoodullah Riyad. I coached Mahmoodullah Riyad as well. When these peoples came and they start performing, that makes the difference. And it is started. I should say after 2010, they start doing really, really well. And this is where Bangladesh team is at the moment. And of course, the under-19 won the World Cup for the first time. Many times we were played champions. We went to the semi-final stage up to in the main competition. But what happened? We have a quite decent development program for the junior cricket. Last 2 years, our Bangladesh Game Development Committee, the chairman is former Captain Khalid Mahmood Sujon. So he kept one team, a group of players for 2 years, almost together, and that results came, and they won under-19 World Cup. So they played as a team. There were no superstar on the team. You could see everybody contributed. If somebody failed this game, somebody else score runs or got wickets. So they played as a team, and hopefully they will do well in future. So I think this is how I can summarize. From nowhere, they are a big power, I should say, in world
Yeah.
cricket.
What I can understand that it takes some times to reach at a certain level, and you have to go through with the different stages. Like
Yeah.
they play in the domestic cricket, the gap between domestic and international was big. So they learn by playing at international level, and they learn the game, and they contribute. They was in the dressing room with the top class player, and that was the learning also the players. And you are talking about the under-19. It means it looked like that they have a good planning, and
Yes.
that's why they won the under-19 World Cup. So, in a nutshell, I will say that when you are have a not good domestic share, so you have to be learn by yourself by playing cricket in the different countries and different leagues. And now we need, or you also, your Bangladesh need to be a good cricket structure, a good transformation from under-19 to the national level or in between A teams or B teams. So I hope that in near future you will be minimize this gap from under-19 to the national team, Do you think that they have a plan to transform under 19 players like A teams, or then they come into the national teams? So if they have a good planning for this, they can definitely have a good team in a Test cricket as well, because we judge every team by the performance of the Test cricket.
That's right.
So if once Bangladesh cricket team perform well in the Test cricket, especially the outside the Bangladesh, so it will be considered as a good team in at all level.
Yes.
So I hope, and you know much better what they are planning. Do you think that they have some sort of this sort of a plan?
Yes, soon after the World Cup, that of course we have academy, and we got Bangladesh A team as well. So soon after the World Cup, because of the success of this team, they've been very consistent, and the Bangladesh Cricket Board and the game development who oversee up to the academy, they thought how to keep this together rather than put them into a team. So they straight away they made it under 21 team. So so all of them, those who are not eligible for under 19, and everybody from the under 19 is go to um, under 21 squad. And within under 21 squad, they have moved the coaching structures as well. The same coaches will be moved to under 21.
To continue the
It's
stuff.
continuation of the
Yeah.
program and progress.
Yeah.
Uh, and
That's a good thing.
yeah, that's a very good thing they have done, and I hope that because of the pandemic, that they couldn't start, and they're supposed to start their program, I think early April or May, but that like everywhere we are in a difficult situation all over the world, so nothing happened.
It's very interesting that like where you spoke about how the structures and the developments are taking place. I mean, I've seen many interviews of Bangladeshi players, and I've read many in many places, and a lot of them attribute a lot of the success to to an institution like the BKSP, which is short form for
BKSP,
the
yeah.
Bangladesh Krida Shikha Pratishthan, which is also the National Institute of Sports. So could you just elaborate a little bit more about that? Because they have produced a lot of players. Even Mushfiqur Rahim is, I think, from there. Even Akbar Ali, the under 19 winning captain, is from BKSP. So could you just tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, including Mushfiq Rahim is there. I
Yeah.
know the Bangladesh Institute of Sports, we call BKSP. In Bengali, we call Bangladesh Krida Shikha Pratishthan. This was set up, I think it was early 80s by former president, and he was army general. And you know that I'm not sure. Either Pakistan also you have cadet colleges. In Bangladesh you got cadet colleges mainly run by the army. Principal is army. They are, and this is how he wanted to structure a sports institute where it will be led by or administrated by army personnel, and it will be only for sports. So this is the vision, and they started with football, cricket, and few other sports, athletics, hockey, and so on. Now they have got, I think, over 20 disciplines, including
Okay.
gymnastics, shooting, all those sports they run. So it is a residential institute. They got 3 cricket fields, indoors, swimming. They got archery. They got shooting. They got any sports you name. They're doing staff games in particular. Most of the discipline they do. So the selection process is, I think they started from class 7. So they have a talent scout procedure across Bangladesh, and from there they select talented players, and
Okay.
then they get admission to that. And when they get admission, it's like a boarding school. So you bring best of the best, let's say under 13 player from across Bangladesh.
Okay.
You select 30 and put them together, and they stay together for 6, 7, 8 years or 9 years together. All right, they got coaches, they got all sort of facilities, and this is how Mushfiq Rahim, Shakib Al Hasan, and many other cricketers. I think in Bangladesh team, if you think about Bangladesh team under 19 and under 17s, probably 60 to 70% players, 60% sometimes, maybe more sometimes, come from that institute,
Wow.
and and
Yeah,
in
yeah.
athletics and everywhere.
Yeah, I also have a experience to be there in 2010. I went there with my club team. They are invited us, and I was very impressed what they have there. And like a structure, they have 150 acres area. They have a, as you told, different disciplines, and they have a very good long-term development program. I think they have 5 years plan, and they keep them all with their hostels, and they have a day-to-day and session-to-session plan, and with the scientific approach. And as you told, that they're run by the army head, and they have a good discipline as well. So it
Yes.
was a great experience for me, and I was very impressed. And I think it contributed a lot for the Bangladesh cricket team, and most of the time, 4 or 5 players are from the BKSB in the national team of the Bangladesh. What I have learned, and I think when I came back to the Pakistan, I wrote an article in the Daily News that was I suggest to Pakistan Sports Board that you should have a same type of a national institute that develop a long-term athlete development program, because we have a institute but we don't run a long-term program. We just short-term program that is not enough to develop a player of quality. So you have to have a long-term development program. So, and at that time, I told that in that article, the Bangladesh cricket team will be in next 5 or 10 years will be a good team in at international level, because what I felt at that time, the the raw talent standard of the raw talent at that time, I am talking about 2010, was not good enough to be meet in the international level raw talent standard. So that you develop players, but they block at certain time, at certain stages, they block and they no further develop because of the raw talent standard. Now you have developed a good quality players at that level. It means you have now raised the standard of the raw talent. So the standard of the raw talent that meet the international level. So that was at that time I'm talking about. So it was really good, and they are the BKSB is playing very vital role for the Bangladesh cricket, maybe or other sports, but I'm talking about the cricket.
Yeah.
So that was a great thing, and
Yeah.
I would like to have a similar structure or the program in Pakistan too. And I suggested at that time in 2010, still they don't they don't take
I
any
think
any any
I,
action any
I
action.
think I think you need to tell now to your mate Imran Khan that he's the prime minister. So you played with him, so that you need to tell him that you need to do such things. So that we'll talk about Imran Khan in sometimes later on.
I think I
Yeah,
need to tell now, because I'm in USA. I need to tell USA cricket to have a same sort of infrastructure, because they are lacking. In fact, in USA they are lacking infrastructure and grassroots cricket. So that two things are very important to develop cricket anywhere in the world. If you want to develop, you must have an infrastructure first, and the raw talent and the grassroots cricket.
Yeah.
So I
just
will
jumping in
I
over
will
here.
I will I will talk here
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the high up.
Before Kaushik start, I'll just say a few words again about
Yeah, sure.
BKSP. And we really feel proud that that we have such institute in Bangladesh, and uh, and you won't find any other countries. I don't think any other countries they have got such institute. Um, so I can recall I was with Bob Ulma in back in I think it was about 2002 or 2003. He came to Bangladesh for a betting specialized clinic, I think, for 2 weeks, and we had our program in BKS. That time I was one of the BCB's national coach, and Bob Bulma was telling, "Wow, if you have such an institute, I don't think any countries have, and you must have, you should produce good players, because one of the things I think I believe, and probably Jalal by the same, players develop by playing cricket. Coaching cricket, yes, we are the coaches. It plays a little bit of role. But unless and until you play continuous cricket and competitive cricket, you won't learn the game. So this is so vital. And one of the things is big from BKSP, regardless how they got the coaching, but they got grounds. They play
Right.
continuous cricket because they have the facility. And one of the things that the BKSP coaches do, of course, they every day their routine is cricket throughout the year. So they do 1 hour maybe in the afternoon, maybe some skill training, and on the grass they're playing cricket in a game. So game sense training is so important, and by doing all sort of games, that you learn about the whole game. So that is so important.
Yes, I do agree with you because in our days we learned by playing the cricket because at that time no coaching structure was available. I'm talking about 80, early 80s and even late 80s. We don't have such coaching structure. But how we learn? We learn by playing competitive cricket at all levels. If you are playing competitive cricket at all levels, means you are learning, and that's right. But nowadays we have an extra advantage of the coaching setup. So we can play cricket by we can learn by playing cricket, and plus we can be improved by uh, having coaching setup. So it's double advantage now. You can learn quickly as we
Yeah,
learn in our days.
that's right. That's right.
Absolutely. So when all this infrastructure is in place, so then the next question that arises in my mind and in many cricket lovers' mind is that when will Bangladesh start becoming a great test playing nation, especially outside Bangladesh? So if
I
both of
think
you could highlight that a little bit.
I think again it comes to uh, I think Bangladesh cricket still need to do a lot in the domestic cricket. That we were talking about competitive cricket. So that
Right.
you highlighted three players. All right, there are maybe 4 or 5 players we have in the team who are consistent and who are world class. All right, but in your within 11, you must have 8 9 players world class
Right.
to compete against the world 11. The like any other countries like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, England, or wherever. In Bangladesh, we don't have that. Why we don't have that? So in the beginning, that what when I was talking about, we need competitive. The players need to learn by playing competitive cricket. And Shakib, Tamim, Mushfiq, and Mahmudullah Riyad, and some of them, they when they started their journey, they are already in Bangladesh team 10 years, 12 years already. Last 2 3 4 years they are performing well, and these boys learn and came up to this, not playing competitive cricket. They are here because of they learn by playing international cricket. They fail and then they learn. They were part of different franchise cricket, BPL, I should say, get a big part. They played IPL, they played PCL, they played CPL. Wherever they played, they played against tough opponents. Unless you played with the tough opponents, as we know that that from our domestic structure, the international level is too high a jump. So we got a lot of talented players, but we couldn't give them sufficient opportunity because it's so competitive in the top level. If somebody failed twice, you have to drop them because there is no chance, because you
Right.
need to win the game and they need to be consistent. So it is very difficult balance.
Yeah,
And
one thing, Ratan, I will add that these leagues are advantages because they have opportunity to play with the top class player. But side by side is a disadvantage as well in terms of the if we talk about the Test cricket because mostly players would like to be part of the league and the one day cricket. They are not focusing on Test cricket or longer version cricket because of lot of charm in the leagues. So that we need to be invite them focus on the test cricket so they can improve test cricket as well. But these leagues are uh, some sort of a hurdle for the test crickets. What I think maybe it's wrong or right. Yeah, maybe you don't have different opinion, but I think is these leagues are restricting the players to be motivate them to play test cricket.
I think in a sense you are right, because there are a lot of debates, either test cricket or one day cricket or T20 cricket, either it's a white ball cricket or red ball cricket, either 4 days cricket, 5 days cricket become 4 days, all sort of things. That there are huge debate, but test cricket has to be 5 days for in my view, and longer version has to stay to sustain the cricket for long term. You won't get Ben Stoke unless he played longer version cricket, and he has this sort of technical ability to smash these balls. Only Gilchrist, that you
Yeah.
have to have the foundation. Unless you have we cannot do that T20 straight away unless we have a strong foundation. Strong foundation will give longer version game. We know.
So
But
Ratan,
by the way,
That's
Pakistan
right.
lost that game today. England won by 3 wickets.
yeah, exactly.
It's a great comeback, you know that.
Yeah.
That shows that a
Yeah.
strong, because start of the test match we know that England was the favorite, and how they come back, that shows that good team can come back in long version, but in shorter version is no chance, because if you are playing T20, if 1 over is not good for you, and you can lose the match, but in test match you have the opportunity to come back. So that's why we call it a difficult cricket, and real sense cricket is test cricket.
Yes, of course.
Ratan, just one last point on that. So, are you saying that the quality of first-class cricket currently in Bangladesh, the first-class domestic cricket, is it not good enough to produce, is it not competitive enough to produce really great Test cricketers, all 11, which can fill 11 aside for Bangladesh?
No, I think we have sufficient good players, but they are not good enough to compete against 4 day with India, Australia,
Okay.
England, uh, and we are not that confident that yes, we'll be winning that with that mindset. But if we talk about 1 day, yes,
Hmm.
we can still think that yes, in any given day we can beat any team because we
Yeah.
got some core players, and if they click, they can beat any team.
It is the same problem with the Pakistan. We have a very big gap in domestic cricket and international cricket. That's why they perform in the domestic cricket. When they come to the international cricket, most of them, we have seen that they have a failure, as they are doing in the domestic cricket, and they don't perform in international cricket because it's a big gap.
Absolutely. So, like, a very fascinating discussion here. But I would just say that we just hope to see a stronger Bangladesh side in the future because, I mean, the world really needs better cricket teams who can challenge the so-called top 3 or 4 teams. And of course, when you think of Bangladesh cricket and you just think that Shakib is there and his performance in the World Cup last year. So the quality is definitely there, and let's hope that it translates into Test cricket as well in the future. In my opinion, he deserved the Man of the Series in the World Cup, but that's a debate for another day. Now let's just move on to the next section of the episode. We will now shift our gaze towards the work Ratan has done is currently doing in England. As we have mentioned earlier, you are working as a CEO of the Capital Kids Cricket in England. I have seen in your shows and in interviews that you're very enthusiastic about introducing technology into the game to improve the skill level of players involved. So we have a brief introductory video about CKC. Let's watch that first. Well, that was a wonderful video about CKC, and that really sets things up. So Ratan, could you just tell us a little bit about your work and about technology in cricket and about CKC itself?
Yeah, the video just you showed. This was last year. We celebrated 30th anniversary of Captial Kids Cricket, and that festival we wanted to make it as big as possible, so that we had about 900 children uh, and over 300 adults join. Um, and we set up some world record. Like it was one of the largest kids cricket festival. We ran continuous 36 games at one venue. Of course, for the children, we call quick cricket games at Hackney Marshes. Hackney Marshes is one of the largest ground in Europe. They have, I think, about 100 plus football pitches. in one ground.
Oh,
And
it's a
Yes,
great.
that's a lot.
yes, it's one of the largest in Europe, so you can imagine. We choose that venue, and it was great, and it shows the diversity of London. You could see we had a flag board. The children brought their country's flag. We had, I think, 58 nationalities
Wow.
attended on that day. We
Okay.
have 64 language speakers attended, and we played about 34 or 36 games together. So just to celebrate our 30th anniversary, and also on that we ran a 30 minutes coaching. Everybody took part, 30 minutes coaching, which is another world record. So many people attended that coaching session. So that was very significant, and I'm very proud of our staffs who really hard, and everybody behind that, and the sponsors in particular who supported that initiative. This is the Capital Kids Cricket set up in 1989, when cricket in inner city London was dying in the schools, because in the inner city London there is not much facilities in the schools, but outside London you go, you will have a lot of all sort of facilities. But when the cricket almost dying in the school, two, three of our trustees, they got together. They said that we need to do something, and one of them were journalist and played cricket, and one of them, he passed away. Uh, and one of them, our current chairman, Hayden Turner, he's now about 84 years old. So they got together and they started this organization, and they started with their own money, with the 5 schools. All right, we'll send our coaches. All right, go to the school and start cricket lesson. All right, so that we call, the P school. You got the P lesson. So this is how they started, and then following month they applied for a fund and they got 90,000. Even that time they didn't have even bank account. They just set it up the organization. So this is how they started, and we are one of the pioneer to start state primary school structured coaching in schools in inner London. And since then, uh, they are doing primary school, their competition, special needs. We are the pioneer to run projects in hospital. We run 5 London hospitals. We run special programs with the 6 children. You might think what you do in the hospitals, because some of the hospitals they have got school. Why they have put the school? Because some of the children uh, who are staying at the hospital for a long time, they provide them education.
Okay.
So we
Wow.
we we do program with them, so that we are one of the pioneer. So one of the hospital called Great Ormond Street Children Hospital. This is world largest. No, not largest, world best, I think I should say. So we run cricket program there. So we run another hospital where we run with the young people with the mental health unit. So young people do self farming. You know that there are so many other problems they have from the family coming personally, and we have specialized coaches work with them. Start with cricket, with the multi sports, all are modified game. We don't. If you think about, we play cricket in hospital. It's not like the bad ball, and they run around. No, sometimes they're in the bed. Children are with the dialysis. They are taking catches. Their parents are involved. The nurses are involved. Some of the sick children waiting for that week that coach will come, and that is the best time they have within
Wow.
that desperation time. So I think we really feel very emotional when we talk about the hospital project. It is we are raise some fund, but it is not sufficient. But we always try to continue this with whatever fund we have. So this is the hospital program. We run primary school competitions, one of the largest primary school competition across London. So about 150 to 180 school take part that competition. We run in London. We got 33 we call local authorities. We run this competition 17 local authorities, which is a huge part. We work very closely with the county boards, Middlesex, Essex, Surrey, a little bit with the Kent. So we are an independent organization for grassroots cricket. We are the delivery organization for governing bodies like the county boards, so that we deliver their programs on behalf of them. So schools, we develop clubs, we mentor coaches. So I joined here 2008. They brought me as a development manager, development head coach to do some program with the East London area where there are a lot of Bengalis and South Asians live in this part of uh, London. So they are looking for somebody from Asia who can come and do some uh, work which motivates people to do different way.
Right.
And I was lucky enough, so I took the job, and since then I'm with the organization. And last 4 years, since 2015, I become CEO of the organization. So here we are.
This is
Yeah,
absolutely
I
fascinating work.
just
Yes, Salal, you were saying something.
Kaushik, I just ask, not ask, but I will appreciate the efforts Ratan made with the Capital Kids, and I got an idea that this model can be implemented in USA because we don't have that sort of facilities here. And as he started there, and now he's a big organization, so I just ask you to you just give me that model as you give me, and previously you have helped me out, and you are very cooperative. So you give me this model as well, and I'll try to be implement in USA because we need that sort of a model to apply in USA because we need a cricket in school, and especially the children, those are the local children, they should play the cricket. It takes some time, but you can try that. So
Yeah,
it will be very helpful if you do that for me as well. So and one thing I also thank you that whenever I come with you, you would take me to do the lunch. Once I remember that you do it in England and Malaysia, and never give me the opportunity to me to do so. So it's a good habit. So this is a good habit to keep continue. Thank you.
thank you, Jalal bhai.
Very fascinating. You said that 58 nationality per player, children from 58 nationalities came to play cricket over there. Maybe this is something that the ICC should look into because there's a feeling that ICC continues to restrict the number of teams in their marquee tournaments, and maybe this is maybe this is a very good example that cricket needs to be more global rather than more exclusive. But just one more point, Ratan, I want you to highlight is that you have a huge passion about introducing technology into cricket. Could you just tell us a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, of course. When I was level, I got past my senior coaching award when I did my video analysis back in 1998. And since then, I was, that we coaches, sometimes we learn things and we don't implement. Jalal bhai will know better than me. All right. So we coaches, we learn. And sometimes, okay, we learn, all right, that's all right. I run my own way. All right. Uh, but what I personally intend to do, whatever I learn, of course, not everything I can do, but that something that I think that it is important that I try to do. So since 98, I had my private cricket academy in Bangladesh. So I didn't have any video camera. All right. You know that वो शादी के लिए वो video करता है ना
Yeah,
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 you hire them. All
right.
right, those days, that you hire them, they
Yeah,
come and do video, and then they do editing, and they'll give you a nice package. So I used to hire them to come to my cricket academy and just to film. I just tell them, all right, put the camera here, just take these pictures like this, but I need a slow motion as well. So this boy, and then I used to send my one of my assistant coaches sitting with them, and they do. He choose the shot, and they do the slow motion, and I bring back the players to my place. And I bought a VCR that time in my house. VCR where I can do the slow motion as well. You see that, and everybody liked it. Children liked it. I know the players. We told it, seeing is believing. That sometimes you tell to
right.
the players that you are doing this, you are doing this. Sometimes they don't believe you. Sometimes that you are doing this, but when they see it themselves, they start believing it. All right. So I was always a passion of using the technology, and uh, I learned then Silicon Coach how to do the video analysis. I think Jalal will know about Silicon Coach. When I was working in BCB and Malaysia, I did all those things. And since current World Cup, I met Smart Cricket. They are one of the ICC's partner, and I met the owner founder Atul Srivastava, who was developed this with Intel Corporation, and somehow we got into it, and now um, I become the director of the company. All right, so that the company now set it up here, so that this is a small device which helps players from grassroots to international level um, to analyze your batting. Even you don't need any video analysis, so that the small device goes on top of your bat, and you play. And when you come up, you will have an app. On the app, you will find your wagon wheel. You'll see how many shots you played, how many offside, how many onside, all right, how many lofted, all sort of things you will find. So it is very useful tool. And why I recently I think more of technology, because during this pandemic we all suffered. The players we coached, they wanted to get coached at home. We cannot come and meet together, and I started using the Zoom. I started coaching using the Zoom and the team, and sometimes FaceTime, etc., etc. So this is so important nowadays, and world become very busy. We all become very busy. The travel time, etc. So if small technology can help players to develop,
Right.
and if you can make it accessible to the grassroots, the only can cricket can get benefit. The overall now 95% world cricket, even in if you think about the Premier League, I think 98% doesn't have the excess of technology or video analysis or any sort of analysis.
Right.
But this product can give you analysis. If they can give additional 10%, you're talking about hundreds of thousand players will get benefit.
Yeah, I remember that you once, I was in the World Cup 2019. You give me the one as
Yes.
as a gift. So I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it is fascinating. It is one of the device that you need to get used to. Once you're used to, you will love it. So it has got a couple of features. Uh, let's say Jalal Bhai is my coach. I'm in London. Jalal Bhai can watch my statistics sitting down in USA, almost real time. Every time he can set me the goal, what need to be done, and he can monitor. So if I'm betting in my nets, Jalal can see sitting at USA real time what is happening. So that is one, the coach mode and player mode. So then there is a match mode. I can play the match. It will give the match analysis as well. There is a video, smart video. You don't have to have any video analysis, so that it will capture only your shot. It will crop, it will give you slow motion, overlay, etc., etc. So it's only 100 pounds, and it gives all sort of things.
Wow. I think a lot of cricket boards should be interested in this, especially in domestic cricket. I
Yes.
think this would be very useful for player development. And I mean, I never thought that even a sport like cricket could be played remote, like could be used to develop players remotely. So remote working is really taking shape in every form of our life nowadays because of the pandemic. So it has been very fascinating to talk to both of you. We are really running out of time, but before I let you go, now that England have won the first Test match, what are your predictions for the rest of the series? Both of you, just really quick answer.
I'll start with, I think England is because at one point we thought that the Pakistan is going to win. All right, it was a 50-50, but the way the England came back, and I think England will have better confidence now, and I think next two matches it will be tough for Pakistan to come back strongly.
Jalal
Yeah,
sir,
I would say that this opportunity the Pakistan has lost will definitely lower down their confidence, and the batting we need to be perform well, because they did in first inning good performance, but in the second inning they got shot out. So we need improved batting performance, then we can beat England as well. But we have to have some planning, and we perform well from the batting side, so we can win the match against England.
So on that note, we have really run out of time. Let's hope that we have an exciting. The last two test matches are as exciting as this one was. Ratan, it was an absolute pleasure to have you in the show. We got some really fascinating insights about cricket in Bangladesh and also about the work you're doing in England and about technology in cricket. আশা করছি কি আপনি আবার আমাদের সাথে কথা বলবেন শোতে।
Definitely, it was pleasure to be on the show, Jalal Bhai. Particularly, I really admire Jalal Bhai so much, and I will bring Jalal Bhai on my show to talk about his journey and learn from him also. Not only me, a lot of people can learn from him and his vision. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Ratan. Thank you, Ratan, for your appreciation, and you're coming in my show. It's a great thing for me as well. So let's see in future what we can do for the cricket as well.
So before we leave, I would just say that you can follow Ratan's work. We'll be putting the link up on the screen very soon, and we'll also, there it is. Follow Shahidul Alam Ratan on tvs.london at YouTube. That's a YouTube channel. There's some really fascinating interviews lined up over there. You should definitely watch it. I have watched them, and it's really inspiring. Some of the stories over there.
I must say that people must watch this TV show and all these, because he's doing a lot of good work for the cricket development.
Absolutely. Jalal sir, always a pleasure to converse with you in all things cricket. Ratan sir, once more, thank you for coming on the show. I would like to thank our viewers for watching this episode of The Crease with Jalal Uddin. Do click the bell icon to subscribe to our channel, like and share our videos. Follow us on our Instagram handle @TheCrease. Keep the comments flowing. We'll soon see you in another episode very soon. Thank you so much.